Hello, 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 and welcome. I am Shane Moore, and this is the Texarcist. Sue Ellen is off tonight, and I am being joined by my friend Elaine Burnham. Tonight we'll be talking about the Myers-Briggs 16 personality types, and I have to say it is truly fascinating. Elaine introduced me to this knowledge about 2 years ago, and it is spot on. I mean, just sit back and trust me, you are going to be surprised. We're going to talk about career choices for each type, and I think that you'll agree, Elaine, that it is just, I mean, where did they get this knowledge? It's just amazing how there's 16 different types, and I have taken the test like 4 times, and my answers may vary a little bit, but I always get INFJ.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like they have crawled into every closet that we have in our minds and just mapped it. I mean, it's just...
I took a test probably, well, I was in college, so probably about 20 years ago, and came out with the ENTJ. And I took the test. My son Hunter was wanting me. He was writing a thesis on it for his senior year, which was in 2013, and I came out with the ENTJ, and I took it probably about a year ago, and I'm still an ENTJ.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was like, I wonder if this changes, so I said, I'll take it again, 12 minutes. I took it, and no, it did not change. Though the questions kind of changed a little bit, but I answered as truthfully as I could, and of course you'll see when you take the test. It is really something. So, and we will post that shortly. And
yeah,
trust me,
the
this is going to help a lot of people, because it's like the old phrase that leads to ultimate power is know thyself. And man, you talk about this is the real deal. I mean, I'm truly impressed, and I have to say, it's just, it has really made an impact on me. Just amazing. So anyway, let me read the intro that we have, and then we'll go to a song, and if I can just get there. Okay. In this episode, we will discuss the 16 different personality types of the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator, or the MBTI Personality Inventory, used to make the theory of psychological types described by Carl Jung understandable and useful in people's lives. The essence of the theory is that much that is seemingly random variation in the behavior is quite orderly and consistent, being due to basic differences in the ways individuals prefer to use their perception and judgment. I must say that the personality types are spot on to an astonishing degree. We will discuss strengths, weaknesses, and primary mindsets of each type, as well as what best career choices, relationship compatibility, and percentage of each type, and much more. If you haven't taken the Myers-Briggs personality type test, please do so at www.16personalities.com. It's a free online 12-minute test. 12 minutes that may change your life for the better. We are hoping to help each listener to know thyself. And this is going to be a fascinating, exciting show and exploration for each of us. And if you have questions for Elaine, feel free to ask those. If you have comments or personal experience in the Myers-Briggs personality types, please feel free to join our live chat and weigh in on it. Hey, Jacob, glad you joined us. Hey, Mona, glad you joined us. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will get started. So get ready, get ready, get ready. And we'll be back in 3 minutes.
Won't you sing out your frustration? Just say a word. Keep on staring at the pavement. God knows who hurt. Ooh, your mind is a ghost town, echoing inside your walls. 5 feet underground now. Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts. Nothing's gonna make us spell it out. I don't wanna be the one who said, oh, I told you so. And even if the sky was falling down, you never noticed anyone around. I don't wanna be the one who said, oh, I told you so. But I told you so. Keep on acting out like strangers. Scream out loud. I will go if nothing changes. So change your heart. Ooh, your mind is a ghost town, echoing inside your walls. 5 feet underground now. Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts. Nothing's gonna make us spell it out. I don't wanna be the one who said, oh, I told you so. But I told you so. My kingdom
And we are back. Okay. Well, I realize that this may be new to some people. It certainly was for me 2 years ago. So, Elaine, if you want to just kind of give us a heads up on what this is and how it works, please do so. Just take it away.
Okay. So basically, there are 16 personality profiles, like they said. It's based upon a Myers-Briggs type. There was 2 psychologists who figured out basically everybody in the world falls into the 16 types of individuals. You can be, and I'm going to go through like 4 sections, and those are what the letters are. So, like, for example, I'm an ENTJ. So, a person can either be extroverted or they can be introverted. If you're extroverted, you're described as being talkative, outgoing, you like to be in a fast-paced environment, you tend to work out ideas with others, you think out loud, you enjoy being the center of attention, and usually you drive energy off of other people, being around other people. You can have your quiet time, where you're kind of regrouping, but you really get your energy off being around other people. An introverted person is quiet, reserved, a person who prefers a slower pace, quiet time. Who tends to think things through inside their head, would be rather reserved and a center of attention. And usually introverted people, they get their energy. They can be around other people, but they really get recentered and they really get their energy back for them being by themselves. So the second one.
One thing, Jacob says he's an INFJS. Now, these new letters, the S, it says I'm INFJA, which is advocate. What does SS mean?
So that's going to be like a secondary function. So S would be sensing.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, let's see. As far as the INFJs, which they're the most rare, but as far as people I've talked to, quite a few. So I guess like attracts like. It says that INFJs are guides, and they make up 1.7% of the population, devoted, innovative, idealistic, and compassionate. That would describe you, Jacob. And a lot of different people that I know, I mean, that's spot on. And Lane, you said that you are what now?
I'm an ENTJ. I'm an ENTJ.
Okay, reformer. 2.9% of the population. Determined, innovative, strategic, and outgoing. So, yeah, I think that
and when you're ENTJ female, you're even broken down into like a lower percent because there's not very many females that are ENTJs.
Well, Mona, I just now talked to Myers-Briggs, and they said that there's actually 17 personalities. There's now the Mona. So I'm kidding. She's going to kill me. Love you, baby. I love you. Anyway, well, I've taken the test like 4 times, and it always says INFJ, and I'm hoping it would say something like I'm something fun-loving, all this, but no, it just goes back to, no, you're pretty much just an advocate. You are a mediator. You are a, well, it really, really goes into, it says, okay, ENTJ, life's natural leaders, visionary, argumentative, systems planners, take charge, low tolerance for complacency, most commanding, and INFJ, an inspiration to others, reflective, introspective, quietly caring, creative, linguistically gifted, psychic, most I can't pronounce this word. Most, it's just right now. Most contemplative. Linguistically gifted. Right. Anyway, so Mona, you did take it, and you were you got I forget what you got, but Jacob, I'm the same way as you. I've taken the test like 4 times on different websites, and the results have been the same every time for me. Mona, I'm sorry, but I took the test twice. No, I took the test once tonight, and I got the same answer that I got like 2 years ago. So that was probably a typo on my part, but let's see. Let me see what the most common. If you'll forgive me, just for a split second, the most common is are the ISTJs, traditionalist, 13.7%, dutiful, practical, logical, methodical, and the INTJs are visionaries, independent, innovative, analytical, purposeful, but we will get into that. So it's a very much to do with extroverts, introverts, sensors, intuitive, feelers versus thinkers, perceivers versus judgers. So, well, right. Mona, Mona is unique. I mean, you have to sneak up on her. She's, but she says, I don't believe in limiting yourself to labels, and I always say that. I don't really view this as a label per se. I mean, I view it as it's spot on. I mean, it really, I think it describes me. I mean, good and bad, and that's just it. I mean, it tells you what your weaknesses are, and like I say with everything else, if it doesn't resonate with you, file 13, absolutely. We still love you. I mean, love you more. So, but anyway, sorry I'm taking a blah, blah, blah. Anyway, go ahead, Elaine. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I mean, it's if it fits for you, then it fits for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And to me, we use it as my family is unique, because we typecast everybody that we meet. Even in restaurants and stuff, we'll typecast the waitress, the waiter. I mean, and like I use it in business. I also use it in personal relationships because like I gave birth to an INTP, and that's my youngest son. I gave birth to an INTJ, and him and I butt heads all the time. And it's because he's extroverted. I mean, I'm extroverted. He's introverted, and we clash. Anybody that I have met that is an INTJ, I've always had conflict with. It's just been that way.
Okay, so that would be he is an INTJ, and you are the
I'm ENTJ.
ENTJ. Okay, I'm gonna write these down so I can keep track. NTJ.
So he's imaginative. He's a strategic thinker. He writes a plan for everything, and he's an architect. So he's like, it doesn't like he's an architect with the computer. He knows the computer inside out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. This right here, it says that the best jobs for every personality type, and it says 80% of the Fortune 500 and 89% of Fortune 100 companies use Myers-Briggs Type Indicator MBTI personality test to analyze the personalities of employees and interaction with the world, introverts, extroverts, decision making, thinkers versus feelers, absorption of information, sensors versus intuitives, organization, judgers versus perceivers. And it says that ENTJ, natural leaders who are logical, analytical, and good strategic planners. The best job would be an executive, a lawyer, a market research analyst. And then it goes to the INFJ, thoughtful, creative people driven by firm principles and personal integrity. The number one career would be a therapist, mental health counselor. Number 2, social worker. Number 3, human relations diversity manager. So,
So corporations do use this, and you also will come across it every now and then in job applications. They'll ask you to fill out a test that's very similar to it, and their personality profiling you is what they're doing. And they're making sure that they get the right person for the right job.
Mm-hmm.
That you're not putting, like, I don't know. I don't know what the criteria would be for that particular position. But, like, for me, being an ENTJ, management fits in perfectly with me. So,
right.
Those are the type jobs that I've always had, is being a manager.
Well, this right here says INFJ, catalyst for positive change, psychologist, psychiatrist, clergy, novelist, playwright, human resources, teacher, specifically English or drama, educational consultant, social worker, mediator, speech pathologist. All of those would appeal to me. Speech pathologist, I'm not so sure about, but and then the ENTS, ENTS. Let's see. Well, I either wrote it down wrong or... Okay. Elaine, one more time. Tell me what you are.
I'm an ENTJ.
ENTJ. Okay, I just read it wrong. ENTJ. Everything's fine. I'm in charge. Executive CEO, investment broker, business consultant, attorney or judge, sales manager, credit investigator, marketing personnel, computer professional, franchise owner. So, Jacob says, I'm a Virgo and INFJ. It's all kinds of fun. Laugh out loud. Oh, that's no problem, Mona. With our furry little kids, they Sawyer had something to say. So maybe he's making his debut. Letting everyone know what he is.
He probably heard Bella.
I bet he did. But so here's the breakdown. The ISTJ is doing what should be done, most responsible. The ISFJ is a high sense of duty, most loyal. INFJ, an inspiration to others, most contemplative. INTJ, everything has room for improvement, most independent. And it just goes on and on and on. The ENFJ, smooth-talking persuader, most persuasive. And ENTJ, that would be you, life's natural leader, visionary, most commanding. So, and there's 16, so it's, and of course, I mean, you can think about your Jacob says, my fur baby is being too quiet, I better see what he's up to. Yeah, I would. I'm Sagittarius, so I don't know how that works out as far as the overall, but I'm sure that it has something to do with it. Okay.
Well, like I'm an Aries. So Aries are ruled by the Mars planet, which is the god of war. And we're like, ENTJs are notorious for like being strong-willed and going into the fire and forging force and stuff like that. And usually you're not going to sway us, you know. That's kind of how we are. Evolved, I like to say that I'm an evolved ENTJ because I've studied the introvert and the introvert, you know, ENTJs have, like for me, I had to learn to be a little bit softer, to have a little bit more of a filter, because I can say things that I'm thinking and it just comes out, and the delivery is not meant on what I was thinking in my head. It's coming out a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had to change that a little bit and be more compassionate and be more cognitive of exactly what I'm saying to an individual if I have to, you know, engage in a particular conversation that may not be pleasant for me or them. And that's usually in a business realm. In a personal realm, and it's just preference, I will not date an INTJ, no matter who they are. I will not go out with that individual.
Mm.
And it's because of my middle son. I love him to death, but I have met plenty of INTJs, and we just rub each other the wrong way.
Wow.
And part of it is because we're so much alike, because of NTJ, we know how to push each other's buttons in the right way. And INTJs are known for not being very compassionate and having a hard outer shell and not being as outgoing and as what's the word? He's more emotionalist.
Mm.
Right? Like he doesn't carry he doesn't show emotions like I show emotions. I'm passionate. I'm expressive. And, you know, he's not like that. And I've met other INTJs and they're identical. My Mac is more of an INTP. They're more, they have a thirst for knowledge, so they're always constantly learning. They're a little bit more open-minded. They seek things. They are forward-moving, and they're a good match with the ENTJ because we like to be continually learning, continually moving forward, continually finding out things. We're going to find a way no matter what, and we may use 3 or 4 different innovations or 3 or 4 different ways to get to the outcome that we need to get to. And the INTPs are innovators. They're the ones who, okay, it doesn't work this way, so we're going to try this way. It doesn't work that way, so we're going to try this way. Mm-hmm. They're constantly thinking of other ways to do things.
Right.
They're very logical. And ENTJs are very logically based. We're very analytical. Mm-hmm. So it's just, you know, we like to take the INTP theories and put them into action. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Right.
So
this, of course, we have. So I'm not sure about the signs. What the signs mean, or if they add to it, what they add to it. But
what the dash is.
You said that you're an ENTJ and Aries.
Right.
Jacob said he's Virgo. I'm Sagittarius. So,
like Jacob just said, being an introverted Virgo, I don't make friends easily or often. I get along with everyone I meet, but I really don't care to meet a lot of different people because it drains him.
Right.
And that's part of it is being introverted. So he derives his energy regains whenever he's alone. Whenever he's quiet alone, like with his fur baby.
Here's mine. I'll go first, and then I'll do yours, Elaine, and I'll do yours, Jacob. As far as the sign, okay, let's see what it means, and what was really shocking to me is I looked up, famous people who were or are INFJs, and was Nicole Kidman, Gandhi, Adolf Hitler, believe it or not, and my favorite actors, I should say. I was really shocked about this. Al Pacino, and my all-time favorite actor, Daniel Day-Lewis, mainly because he is so dedicated to his acting that some people have said he's like psychotic. He really gets into his character and he stays in it. Oprah Winfrey, Mel Gibson, Lady Gaga, Nelson Mandela, Prince, Osama bin Laden, Marilyn Manson, Leonard Cohen, and those are just some of the INFJs. But there's so much about the astrological signs, as far as what they mean to each personality type. So let's see. Okay, INFJ, Sagittarius men. Jacob, you say Hawkeye. Okay. Let's see.
You know what you can also do is you can Google or whatever, like what is it again?
Same as me. INFJ.
INFJ. A Virgo.
Yes, Virgo.
So this one says, let's see. The Virgo introvert takes a careful and methodical approach to life. They do not prefer to be the center of attention. They just prefer to live life practically. The Virgo introvert takes life seriously and attends to what needs to be done. They would like the world to make sense and aren't afraid to get things done.
Okay. Well,
And then it goes on.
and then let's
And then
see.
Sagittarius.
Yeah, Sagittarius would be me.
Right. And then, come on, little Peter.
I know I can't find anything on it, but Daniel Day-Lewis, he is just, I mean, man, every movie he's in is just, it's not acting to him. I mean, it's real life. And we should do a show on Daniel Day-Lewis. I mean, the guy is dedicated and then some. And when they were doing the movie, shooting the movie Gangs of New York, he stayed in character with the dress, with the clothes and the top hat of Bill, Wild Bill, or whatever his name was in the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio's nemesis. And he actually got arrested because he was walking around like he owned the place and got into some fights. And I mean, he's out there. I mean, he's I guess that's why I like him so much. He's just definitely his own person. I mean, but I'm not finding much on INFJ Sagittarius.
Okay.
But
Okay, here we go.
okay.
So a Sagittarian INFJ is liable to be curious with a philosophical bent. They may be especially bright and fond of learning and are likely to pursue higher education. An INFJ Sagittarius would possess a rather upbeat, positive temperament with a humorous wit. They love freedom and traveling and connecting with people from different walks of life. They have an open mind and mouth that is sometimes a little bit too blunt. This INFJ is very imaginative and will enjoy interpreting the subliminal meanings behind the symbols and imagery propagated in mainstream culture.
Oh,
They have
man.
a desire to uncover secrets. So they have a desire to uncover secrets and connect hidden dots that form the bigger picture that most people cannot see. They seek to illuminate and share their insights with others through teaching, taking on an instructive role, such as a guru or a counselor or a podcaster. Even if I added that, even if they don't get out much, Sagittarius INFJ likely satisfies their thirst for adventure by immersing themselves in books and movies and knowledge.
That's exactly me. Maybe not so much movies, but books and learning what I can, and sharing. I mean, that's just spot on. Okay,
So
Elaine,
here's the
you're
I was gonna,
you're next. So
oh boy. Here we go. Here we go.
Aries. The suspense.
And I'm going to put that link into the room.
Sure.
I have it pulled up for INFJ Sagittarius, but it goes through all of them.
Okay.
It goes through the 12 zodiac signs, and you just choose which one that you want. And actually, I like that definition that I put in the room from that particular website better for Virgo.
Okay.
So if Jacob wants to click on it and read it,
Okay, thank you.
and see if that better identifies with him. I think it does, but, you know.
Very good. Okay. So, Aries in ENTJ.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. The suspense is just
Joanna.
building. While we're waiting for that, I want to say hi to new listeners in Brockton, Massachusetts, Pittsburgh, California, North Hollywood, California, California, Pennsylvania, Toledo, Ohio, Toorak, I hope I pronounced that right, Australia, Duncanville, Texas, Providence, Rhode Island, Orlando, Florida, Burnaby, Canada, Vancouver, Canada, and Cordell, Georgia. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you enjoy the show and continue to listen.
Hi, everybody.
I
said hi, everybody.
Yes. We're just more and more places reached. Also countries, Finland and Latvia. Jim Carrey says he was channeling Andy Kaufman when he made Man in the Moon. I believe he probably was, because he hasn't been right since. Yeah, Jim Carrey's out there now, but I mean, who knows? I mean, he seems to enjoy the, just, the shock value, or with certain, reporters or journalists, just really making them wonder, is he for real, or is he just pulling our leg? Who knows? I mean, with him, much like Andy Kaufman, I mean, you never knew if the guy was serious, and so definitely.
Did you find your ENTJ Aries?
No, I can't find anything on it.
I did. I did.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Sorry. The Aries ENTJ is bound to be a force of nature and someone who is very strong-willed and sometimes impatient. Their ENTJ leadership qualities are bolstered by Aries' courage and bravado. It is often as though they are attracted to danger and vie for the opportunity to prove themselves with a worthy challenge. They tackle the things that others would be too scared to approach. They are highly competitive and can excel in games that rely on strategy, such as chess and mahjong. The ENTJ Aries may exhibit a large ego, but people will likely admire them for what they bring to the table. They ooze competence and confidence and almost always seem to know what they're doing. They are the pathfinders who can pave the way forward for others. As an impassioned and driven individual, the ENTJ Aries is prone to temperamentally outbursts or to have the Aries is prone to temperamental outbursts when they encounter severe obstructions that thwart their plans and objectives.
Well,
Sound like somebody you know?
yep. So like I said,
A little bit?
they seemingly have mapped the mind. Of course, you're talking about Carl Jung, Jung, who was contemporaries with Freud, and although they didn't see eye to eye, because Jung was more about the synchronicity, which he coined that phrase, that word, synchronicity, and he also believed in the archetypes and the collective consciousness, and so I would be more lean more towards Jung than Freud, although Freud had some pretty good knowledge. I mean, with his theories and everything, but Jung was really out there. He was really brilliant. I wasn't afraid to push the envelope. Jacob says he almost grasped the concept, but then it's like he flips and says stuff like, it doesn't matter how you live or what you do, because we are only here for a little while and then we move on. Yeah, he's very fleeting with what he says, seemingly. So, who knows? But he's definitely not boring. I mean, he's all over the place. But very talented too. It's something else. It really is. But anyway, I'm sure that this is something that our zodiac signs or whatever, astrological signs, are just the tip of the iceberg as far as this goes. I mean, there's probably so many different variables that could be added to really dissect to the nth degree, probably subatomic level of our psyche, which I find very, very interesting, fascinating. But
so for those that know me, what's interesting is with my relationship with Hunter, my youngest child, he's in a rock band and he's an INTP, and with him, that is my perfect match for relationships and stuff. And it's also, we bounce ideas off of one another all the time. But what's interesting is every member of the band has an ENTJ mother. So
that's something.
There's the Marco and John. One of them is an ISTP. So you have an INTP and you have an ISTP. So they're one and of the same. You just have your introverted and your sensing that are different, or your intuitive and your sensing that are different in the two. And then you have another one that's ISFP. But we all have ENTJ mothers, which is interesting. And all the mothers get along of the band. The band mothers all get along with one another. So ENTJs will get along with other ENTJs, but we may not get along with other types, so to speak, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Well, like attracts like. I mean, so that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, to me, see, it's like for you and I, since you're INFJ, we get along because you're in touch with your feelings, and but you're also the type. Your MBTI type is the type that constantly looks for knowledge, and that's part of what ENTJs do. We constantly look for knowledge and how to do things. And so, and with the shared intuitive trait, which is the N, we can feed off of one another. And like we have no uninhibited logic. As long as it's logical and analytical, it's easier for us to talk about. So, and we're both passionate about what are passionate about our striving to learn and striving for more knowledge. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, knowledge, I mean, absolutely. And I just, people always say, man, you're really in the deep. And I'm like, well, I never leave it. So that was spot on as far as I'm completely comfortable being in my head, which is kind of a problem because I have to force myself to stop, and actually, I guess, live life, experience life because I stay in my head so much.
Right. See, like for us, we have ENTJs have strengths and weaknesses. The strengths are like we're efficient, we're energetic, we're self-confident, we're strong-willed, we're strategic thinkers, we're charismatic and inspiring. My weaknesses are the ENTJ weaknesses: stubborn and dominant, intolerant, like it's my way or the highway. And that's something that I have learned to develop, meaning, or to say, more now, let's say, evolve into that doesn't work all the time.
Right.
You have to be more of a team player. You have to be more cognitive and compassionate about other people's feelings, ideologies, and so forth in order to be able to involve everybody in the team. So I've learned to be more tolerant of other people, and patient. You never pray for patience because your higher power, whoever they may be, will give you adversity that will teach you patience. And so I've tried to learn to slow it down, take deep breaths, become more patient, and actively listen to the other person involved. Sometimes we come off as arrogant. Me personally, I don't mean to, especially if I'm knowledgeable in something. I don't like to come off as overbearing. I'm very in touch with my ego. I try not to have a big ego or something. I like to bring it more on everybody's at the same level. Poor handling of emotions. This is where it's the most difficult for me, because if I truly get like flustered that no one's listening to me, that like in a work situation and where I'm the boss,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to instruct an individual and they're not listening to me, or they're just in one ear and out the other, or they're being disrespectful, like in a meeting or something
Right.
like that, I can become very flustered and stuff. And then I can be very cool. So it's you take these, like I've taken these over the years, and I have read them, and I have learned them, and I've studied them, and I have applied them to best fit me.
Mm-hmm.
And I still evolve it. It's not something, to me, this is a tool to use um, for myself, for my personal relationships, and for my business relationships. And
Right.
if I can understand myself better, I can understand the people around me better. And that's how I use the Myers-Briggs. Um, so to me, that's just how it is, for me. Um, so it's just, Jacob says we're mediators, so we tend to look at all sides of an issue, which happens to be a Virgo trait, looking at every possible angle of the situation before we make any kind of decision. And we tend to make decisions based on who will be harmed the least with the solution.
Right. Which,
That's interesting.
yeah, me too. Yes, it's, as far as myself, my main thing is I don't want to see, people hurt, especially those that can't defend themselves, or those that are innocent. Those that are guilty, with me, it's like, hey, they basically earned it. And so, that might be harsh, but that's how I view things. Is if they have earned it, then they really, it's kind of like, okay, you made your bed, now you lie in it.
Kind of, if they earned it, they deserve it.
Well, yes, it's yeah, and so it's like, playground's open. You wanted to play, obviously, and so, but it doesn't always turn out in their favor. So that's which happens a lot.
Right.
Well, Mona says Shane's a knight. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe in my dreams. But seeking justice for those that deserve it. She goes, and those that don't, revenge. Oh, wait, that's me. Laugh out loud. She's so funny. But that is her.
Big girl.
Gotta love her. Because if you don't, she's gonna kill you. You don't love me. Oh, thank you. The Dark Knight, right? Yeah, and I do, and that's. She says you want to help everyone that needs it. Yeah, I do, and like as far as getting rich or whatever. I was talking to someone today. I don't remember who it was, and they were talking about how there were certain golf charity for children's hospitals or whatever, and the person that hosted the charity golf tournament actually billed the event coordinator. I'm not going to say who. Okay, I really don't want to get into that, but billed the event coordinator, charity event coordinator, and he says, "Hey, everybody gets billed," And I'm thinking, no, I don't understand. I can't even comprehend that. It is charity. It's like you can't let that slide. You're that obsessed with wealth, with money, that that you have to take your chunk out, a children's hospital? Are you kidding me? And there were people that were saying, well, it's this and that, and have to cover their, and no. I mean, it's, in my mind, there's no excuse. It's just greed, and so I really am kind of lost on that. I can't even begin to comprehend that that love of money to that degree, and maybe somebody can help me with that. I mean, I really don't. But one thing's for sure. That's why the rich are rich, and I'm not talking about those who have worked for it. I'm talking about those who do things like that and take from everyone. I mean, they make a profit no matter what, even if it's a children's hospital or for certain things. And no, just count me out. I'm not. That's not the number one priority on my mind. The number one priority on my mind is helping others, and and I absolutely hate to ask anyone for anything. And usually do as a last resort. I mean, if nothing else, it's just, I guess that's a weakness I have that I need to work on, but it's certainly not a strength. Jacob says, yes, I tend to get slightly peeved with people who mess with kids, old people, and animals. Slightly peeved might be a bit of an understatement. I agree with you on that. Yeah. With those who cannot, or those who are afraid to, stand up for themselves. I mean, it's not good. Not good. But it's there's people that say, well, the world's bad. I mean, it's dog eat dog. Well, it is, but there's still some good in the world, and I think that one of the worst things that people can do is to get in that mindset. Well, the world is just corrupt and it's just consumed and there's just no good. Well, when you get into that, then you have no hope, and when you have no hope, it's pretty much it's a pretty hellish existence. So always remember that there's some good.
And you have to understand, like, for you, when Mona said that you're the night, that would go directly with your sensing side, ISFJ. So an ISFJ is defender. They're dedicated and warm protectors. They're always ready to defend their loved ones.
Okay, I didn't read that.
So,
but yeah, that would be me.
So it's like over the past couple of years since I've been sidelined at home, it's interesting how, like, there will be days that I would be introverted. I mean, you took an extroverted person and you put them into a situation that made them isolated, that made me isolated, and made me introverted in a lot of ways. And have to go through and look at everything. But also, if another side of that is the ESFJ, which is extraordinarily caring, social, and popular people, always eager to help. Well, the thing with the MBI personalities is you can have different functions at different times. And it really is kind of like situational ethics. You know, you come upon a problem or you come upon a situation, and you have to make decisions based upon the knowledge and that's given to you. Okay, so I may, in different situations, I may act introverted, where really I'm an extroverted person. So, I may be put into that situation where I have to be introverted. But that's, it is what it is. But, so you have, like I said, it's kind of, you pick the one, you go through the test, and it will give you your 4 letters, and depending on which one you associate with most, which one sounds like you most, which one, and then you can work with it. And you can see, now for me, not so much. I've been that type for 30 years in life. So, at least 20 years. But it's very interesting that you'll have people who are kind of like you. And sometimes when you get to the point, Jacob says, I think that's part of my personality, want the world to be right, and it makes sense. Some things are going to make sense. Some things aren't. It's difficult to speculate from and to see, kind of where you fall in place.
Well, one thing with
kind of makes it in perspective.
Well, one thing with me is that, please don't take this the wrong way, but it's just the truth. Is I hear people say, well, people may not like me. I don't care if they like me, but they are going to respect me. I do care if they respect me. When I'm standing in truth, and doing what I can from the depths of my heart as good, and people don't like me or don't respect me, and that's just life. I don't care whether they like me or respect me. I could care less. And like I said, I hope people don't take that the wrong way, but I think that, people get too, caught up into, well, I have to have their respect. Well, guess what? You're never going to get someone's respect that just inherently they don't respect anyone. So that's the way I see it. And so in that case, I could care less. Don't care if they like me, don't care if they respect me. It's like I've always said, one of my favorite quotes is, truth need not scream. And when you're standing in truth, if you haven't noticed lately, truth is not very popular nowadays. It's like, people used to hate someone for lies, but now when you stand in truth, you're hated. So my advice to all the people out there that are, striving to gain respect from certain people, it's fine if it's, genuine respect, right? When you earn it and it's given, and when you respect someone and it's returned. But if it's not, be like a duck and just let it roll off of you. Because there's so many people that allow themselves to be controlled by that very thing, is they're still working to gain daddy's respect, or they're still working to gain mama's respect, or some boyfriend or ex-husband or ex-wife or whatever. No, I stopped playing that. I found out that was a game. That was a way of control. And well, yeah, quack it off. I mean, just whatever. But just keep marching forward. And somebody says, well, you have to gain my respect. Really? Obviously, you don't know me. I'm not going to work any harder to earn someone's respect than the next person. So, it's like, what makes you so special? Be well-footed like a duck and just keep on, just let the water roll off your back. And I truly think that would lead people to tremendous freedom if they could just get out from under the belief that they have to earn daddy's respect, or they have to earn mama's respect, or someone who's never going to respect them because they don't respect themselves. And there's a lot of people in the world like that. And so, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Mona says, I don't care for making friends, but respect is a big thing for me. Treat me with respect, and I'll be respectful for you. I know people say respect is earned, and I agree with it, but there are different levels of respect. Example, when you first meet someone. Well, example, if I meet someone, and of course I'm always respectful of everyone, and they are disrespectful towards me, I make my presence known by my absence. I'm not going to be around those people. Just not going to be. And that's solution right there. Just that's the way I see it. Mona says, you show respect to them as a person, but after getting to know them, if they're disrespectful to you, then they don't deserve my respect. Absolutely right. They don't deserve your presence. So, yes, but I show them that initial respect. Everybody. I don't care if it's Prince or Pauper or what. I mean, rich, poor, and it's like these people that are they have the status, they have the money, and they have this and they have that, and they have the titles, and blah blah blah, and they just expect, well, I'm above you, and they sneer down at everyone else. And that's another thing. They can respect me, but they can disrespect someone else, one of my friends, somebody I don't even know. It's like somebody that you may work with that is just very, very cruel, or very condescending towards someone like the janitor or the maid or something. Yeah, you know what? They can respect me, but they just lost my respect, by how one treats someone who can do nothing for them or nothing to them defines a person. And what I mean by that, by they can't do anything for them, as far as helping them in their career or to climb the ladder, or to them, like beating their ass, I mean, for lack of a better term. Yeah, if if they show that person respect, then that's a good person in my book. But those that disrespect those who can't do anything for them or to them, that pretty much tells me all I need to know.
Yep, I agree.
And
So,
but it is very telling that the workplaces use the Briggs-Meyer. That speaks volumes. That it's that it is very, very, I guess you would say, useful and helpful in putting certain people in certain places, because it's like there's a lot of people that are hired or that apply for a job, and they have their eyes on being CEO, or a certain job that they're just not meant for, and they can, if they're in the right circumstances, the right job for them, then they're going to flourish. I mean, they're going to be successful. But somewhere else is just going to be above them, or just not for them. And the Briggs-Meyer, the 16 different personality types, really hones in on that. And so
absolutely. And I'm also in a MBTI group on Facebook. I was in two of them. It was ENTJ females,
mm-hmm.
and then another one that's MBTI for singles. And it's very, very interesting to meet the different types of individuals and personalities that they have. Like you said, there's 16 types. So quickly, you can either be extroverted or introverted, sensing or intuitive, thinking or feeling, judging or perceiving. And, so it depends on the four, the combination of the four makes up your personality. So, like you have ISTJ, ISFJ, INFJ, INTJ. You have ISTP, ISFP, INFP, INTP, ESTP, ESFP, ENFP, ENTP. And then lastly, you have ESTJ, ESFJ, ESNJ, ESFJ, and then ENTJ.
Right.
So,
And I would highly encourage everyone to go to the site, take the test, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then just say, okay, well, chunk it. But I guarantee you, it's going to. And the more that you look into it, the more that you study it, it really there's a lot of useful, helpful information and knowledge there, not just for anybody, but for you. And that's something that can really help you, because it's like many people, they know everyone, but they don't know themselves. And this is a way to help you truly know yourself. I mean, and when you know yourself, you can improve. You can work on your weaknesses and hone your skills and different things, and that just makes you a better person. I mean, you can't fail. I mean, with that. So anyway,
Well, Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true."
right.
That's what Shakespeare said. So,
And
it's true.
and that's not a very common trait now. It's like myself included. I mean, people say, so have you ever lied to someone? I'm like, I've lied to myself. That probably hurt me more than anything. Lying to myself, trying to make myself, back in my younger days, trying to make myself something that I was not. And that's what the Briggs-Meyer, I think, really helps is it gets you away from especially guys. I mean, we want to be that hero. We want to save the day. But sometimes it's up to somebody else to do that. And it's just like those that it's like the person that says, well, I don't want to be in the band if I can't beat the big drum, or I don't want to play the piccolo. It's the smallest instrument, I mean, come on. There's a place for everyone, and just because you're not, playing a huge instrument or in the very front, marching band, I mean, right in the front, maybe you might be in the back, but hey, you're still needed. I mean, you still have worth, and my mind, no one is more important than someone else. I mean, it's like people talk about, well, how would you like to be a garbage man? How would you like to not have garbage men? People that pick up your garbage. Thank those people. I mean, imagine that. Imagine, hey, you're on your own as far as that goes. Things would get bad quick. So, every person has worth and can be successful in their own right. But the problem is in my opinion, too many people live other people's lives or attempt to. And whether that's due to culture or I'm not sure, movies or the media, who knows, but it does, happen. I mean, people are living other people's lives. They're wearing a mask and they're acting like someone that they're really not. So, Jacob, you say, I think we all have done that at one point or another in this life. Try to be something in someone we are not. Right. And the truth is, I mean, as far as I see it, is that hurts us more than it does anyone else. I mean, yeah, Jacob says, I did in my younger days, but someone that I was really trying to be was a real jerk. Hey, yeah, me too. I mean, I've been there. I think we all have. But,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like keeping up with the Joneses or the Smiths or whoever, you know. And there's so much like there's a lot of things are soft, like you said, you're living somebody else's dream or whatever it seems like.
mhm.
You try to hide imperfections with makeup. You try to, be be a person that you're not necessarily being true to yourself, so to speak. Um, so there's a lot to be said about that. You know,
It certainly
maintaining
is.
who you are and
Yeah,
not deviating from it. You know,
right. It's
in my opinion.
like you can look at spiritual giants. Those that were enlightened, if you want to use that term, or those that were very powerful, or those that were just they walked into a room, they didn't have to say anything. They just walk in, and all eyes are on them, and they're not doing anything. But what the difference is they have accepted who they are, and they're comfortable in their skin. They're living their life, and they're comfortable living their life. They're not trying to be something that they're not, and they're no longer in the rat race. They're not, they're not keeping up with the Joneses. They're beyond that, and that's called confidence, and it's called silent strength. And those that have it, they don't have to talk about it because it just radiates from them, and that's the holy grail of life, I suppose. Is just that, know thyself. Very, very powerful, and I have known a few like that, and man, it was a blessing and an honor to just know them, because they were, like I said, they were completely comfortable and confident in who they were, and they didn't claim to be anything special or special status or anything. But man, they were powerful because of it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there is great power in contentment, no matter where you're at. Be content, and you'll be powerful. But we could go on and on and on about that, about how we allow other people to regulate how happy we are, or if we're even happy at all, and that's sad. So,
I just had a discussion on this earlier
did you?
about how, about how you are the only person that can make yourself happy.
That's right.
No one else in life can make you happy. You yourself are the only person that can make you happy. And there's a skill set called coping skills. How do you cope with adversity in life? How do you cope with success in life? And how do you cope with individuals that or things that are controllable and things that are non-controllable?
Mm-hmm.
And it just all comes back down to coping skills. And it's just something that, but you have to develop those coping skills yourself. No one else can teach you those. You can look at an objective Um, like, let's say you're trying to have lunch with a friend and they cancel on you. You can either fly off the handle and be upset and all this stuff, or you can look at the situation and you can go, well, since you can't break away for lunch, let me bring lunch to you. You know, it just, it depends on the whole situation and what's going on. So, you know, you can be, there's a person that I met recently who had a knee-jerk reaction to a situation that they were going through. And they didn't think it out. And they needed to think it out. And like Mona says, no one can make you happy, you can make yourself happy. Because the secret to true happiness is self-love and how you view or handle things, which is true. Jacob said he learned to love himself, how to love himself. It took some serious soul searching and real work to make that happen, but now it has, and he'll never go back the other way.
Right.
And, you know, you do meet those people in life that, you know, when they walk into a room, they command your attention. And it's nothing that they are specifically dressed or doing or anything like that. Usually it's they exude this self-confidence and they exude this no fear. You know, they usually don't have any fear. They're not going to allow fear to inhibit them from being truly happy in life. And for whatever reason, you can just pick up on that. Maybe it's just in the way that they carry themselves. The nonverbal.
Right. Yep. That's it. And Mona, you say secret to true happiness is self-love and how you view or handle things. Yes. It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you. I'm not claiming to have mastered that at all, so please don't think that I'm putting that out there, because I still struggle with that.
Well, I think we all do. And it just depends on, again, that situation that you're in that sometimes you get blindsided with. For me, that's not good. It's not good for me to get blindsided with things. Right. I get that where we go back to the Myers-Briggs and where I don't handle, one of my weaknesses is emotional. You know, I can become emotional when I get blindsided with things. And that's just knowing me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell that individual that blindsided me. I will kindly say, you know, I was blindsided with this. If I had more information, I would have been able to make a more logical and analytical, you know, determination and decision on what to do versus, you know, getting blindsided with something.
Yeah, that's...
And then they look at me like I'm a freak.
Yeah, I'd be like...
And it's like, no, it's just I'm an ENTJ.
Right. Yeah,
And sometimes they'll say, well, the J is judging. And it's not necessarily that we're judging you. We're weighing the pros and cons of the situation. Or the judging is maybe sometimes it is. We're judging that situation. Do we want to do it? Do we not want to do it? You know, what is the outcome going to be? You know,
right.
Stuff like that. So
sometimes you just have to do it and just see what happens.
Yeah. Roll the dice and see what happens.
Yeah, see where the cards fall. But anyway, well, we have gone on now for an hour and a half, and I guess we're gonna call it a night. But by all means, you know, those of you that are listening now but not taking part in live chat, please go to the website or the website of your choice, and you can look up the Myers-Briggs test. But look up free, because they do have free, and believe it or not, they do charge on some of these websites for it. But you can take it free, and take it, and I think that you'll greatly benefit from it. But anyway, do you have anything that you want to add, Elaine?
Well, the best free one that I've seen is the https://www.1616personalities.com, and you can go onto that site. Don't log in. Just click on take the test in the upper right-hand
Right.
side. It takes about 12 minutes or so. So it's not very long. And that's one of the better free ones that I've seen. So
And
you don't have to sign up or anything for it.
And keep in mind that there's no wrong answer, or you're not going to be
Right.
viewed. There's no wrong, or lower
Right.
type. So you don't have to worry about that. Just
Right.
Be honest about it, and I think that you'll be surprised at what you find, what you learn about yourself, and
And just be open-minded about it, and just do it for fun if you want. Just
Right.
be. But usually once you take it, and then once you go out in the business world, if you haven't already been in the business world, at one point, sometime in your life, you're going to be asked what MBTI type you are. I guarantee it. Someplace, somewhere in your lifetime, you will be asked what MBTI personality you are. And it depends on whether you remember it or not.
Right. I've got mine written down. INFJ, but mine's kind of easy. Jacob, yours is too, since it's the most rare. And I saw that, and I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty easy to remember. Yeah, definitely look into it, and if you find that interesting, then you may want to read some of Carl Jung's works, and those are that gets into synchronicity, and it's just really, really never-ending fascination and learning. I mean, I love to learn. I learn something new every day, and it's very rewarding, to say the least. So, but anyway, Elaine, I guess we are about tuckered out. So it's 1:20 here a.m. and I know that you have plans tomorrow, and I have plans tomorrow. So we're going to call it a night, and thank you for those of you who took part in the live chat. Thank you for those of you who listened and chose not to take part in the live chat. Really enjoyed it, and I enjoy the conversation with the listeners. And anyway, those of you that are listening to the rebroadcast, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All the YouTube listeners. We're on so many platforms now, I can't even name all of them, but iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Castbox, really appreciate you, and Digital Podcast, Podcast Addict. Thank you so much for listening. Radio Republic, you guys are great. Check them out. There's great podcasts on there, and on all of those platforms. But anyway, love and light to you all, and I'm going to say good night. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.